Oh, what the fuck is up, everybody? Six Borough Podcast. You know it, you love it, you listen to it. That's right. Guys, let's get into these advertisements. So I'm getting to these episodes. No, we're going to get into the advertisements so we can get to the episodes. Guys, we're brought to you by Eric Ott at RCG Mortgage. If you're buying a house for the first time, or if you already own a home and you're looking to refinance it, get in touch with Eric. Not only is he a great podcast host, he'll also help you out with your mortgage. You can shoot him a text or give him a call at 631-774-1783. He gets you pre-qualified, answer whatever questions you got. Again, hit him up, 631-774-1783. We're also brought to you by Municipal Land Survey. You can reach them at 631-345-2658. Handling all your land surveying needs in the great state of New York. Last but not least, AS Engineering Services, 631-560-0259. You can reach them on the web at www.asengineeringservices.com. They're a full-scale engineering and architectural firm. God damn, I almost messed that up. Whew. They handle everything that you could possibly need, residential, commercial, whatever you want, they're there for you. Guys, this episode we have Rob Cutrone. Rob is the owner of the Bean in Bayshore, Babylon, and the soon-to-be Patchogue Bean. We have a great conversation about his love for coffee, how he got into the business, his entrepreneurial spirit. It was all around a great conversation, very educational, very funny. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did. All right, guys, we're live. Let's get into it.
Six Borough Podcast, D-Rock,
Yarbs.
and our guest.
What's up, guys? I'm Rob Cutrone here at my first time, so thanks for having me on the show, guys.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Rob is the owner of the Babylon and Bayshore Bean, and more importantly, the Patchogue Bean.
Yeah.
Coming soon. Oddly enough, I'd never met Rob. We got in touch with you through a mutual friend, Tiffany. And,
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm getting lunch in Patchogue today, and who walks in?
That's right.
Rob walks in.
I hear Greg say to me, Rob, and I go, oh, who's that? And I'm like, yeah, that's me, absolutely. And we chatted for a little bit, and I was telling him to come by the store. We're
Dave.
always open. Oh, I'm sorry.
Who the fuck is Greg?
It's perfect because he's the worst with names
Yeah.
ever.
Okay.
That's why I'm not offended at all.
My bad, Dave.
It's
My
actually
bad.
Don't even worry about it. I don't even remember
Listen,
people's
just
names.
goes
So
to show, we just met, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're almost open. About 3 weeks away from opening our doors to the Bean of Patchogue, and really excited about it. It's been 5 to 6 months process. We did a whole gut job, so we're really pumped to be the next cornerstone of Patchogue for sure.
That's awesome because we are huge coffee people.
Good.
Huge.
Good.
yeah, look at that guy.
Yeah, you got a tat on your thumb.
Yeah.
There it is.
I'm a big coffee guy.
That's that's something I've loved for years. What's really cool about all three stores, Babylon, Bayshore, and Patchogue, we actually get our coffee from our own company called East End Coffee Roasters.
Awesome.
So that company is out in Santa Mariches, and it's a full-service roasting company. For those that don't know what a roasting company is the equivalent of a brewery to a bar, providing the bar with its beer, in this case, coffee. So what's really great, like I said, we have our company so we can control the amount of coffee we buy and order, and also control where it comes from, which I think a lot of our customers really appreciate. We have the reach to order our coffee from all over the planet and be able to cater to our customers' demands, which is awesome.
How did you get started in the coffee business? Because I'm always fascinated by how people end up in these things, especially me. I'm a big coffee drinker. I love it.
Sure.
So I'm real fascinated by what. Are you a coffee freak, or is this by accident?
No, absolutely not. My big thing really is an entrepreneurship. I saw how kind of Long Island was really taking to coffee, and how Starbucks was really on the rise. And then you have a lot of other great coffee companies like Stumptown Coffee Roasters, Bluestone Lane Coffee. They're really making waves. So I knew Long Island was kind of an untapped territory for us. And with Babylon, Bayshore in place, Patchogue was the next fit. But coffee is a phenomenal business, and what's really rewarding about it is getting to really be a part of the community. We know kind of everything that's going on. We are that place where, it's kind of like Gossip Central for a downtown on Long Island. So definitely something I've always wanted to get involved in.
I think it's cool. When I wasn't a big coffee drinker probably until I'd probably say about 8 years ago. I didn't drink coffee ever, and now I drink coffee all the time. And I was never a Starbucks guy.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I have like the contrarian personality. I think like anything that's like over the top
Too
popular.
popular.
Yeah, I'm just turned off by
totally
it.
agree.
And honestly, I can't say I've been drinking coffee my whole life. I'm 25 years young. So I really got into it only about 5-6 years ago. Kind of when I started college, started studying business. I really helped. It helped me focus. And through coffee, became a business. So really from a passion to a business, and now as it's growing, it's really rewarding to see that.
Well, Adderall was already taken, so you can go to that business
Exactly.
if you got to do it in college.
Exactly. So the clean way to get your fix, absolutely, for sure.
Being local and having, there's something to the local coffee spot. I think, like you said, it's something people take pretty serious and personal, and then it becomes, like you said, Gossip Central, and you see a lot of the same characters. It's
believe me, they are characters.
It becomes like fabric of the community.
They are characters, yeah, absolutely, and that's really what we're looking to do. And my partner Sal has done a really, really good job of doing that in Babylon and in Bayshore as well. And I'm really looking to kind of take the baton, so to speak, and be that guy in Patchogue and continue his legacy. So really, really pumped about that.
That's awesome. So now you're going to be in the Patchogue location a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to be heading all of the operations for the store. So that is going to be my baby. And coming from Babylon, it's where I live. Mm-hmm. It's just down Sunrise, but it really will be my new home. So even when I'm working, you'll find me out on Main Street. I'll be in all the bars. Definitely a very social guy, so you could definitely find me out in Patchogue for sure.
Well, shit. I mean, that's obviously the case. I ran into you already today, so
Yeah, for sure.
you're gonna get sick of seeing my face.
Yeah. To me, it's super important to kind of be a presence in your village of business. I think it's really important for you to know your customers and for your customers to know you, and being really a model citizen. Kind of allowing everyone in the village to something to look up to. I think that's really, really important too.
Yeah, I would say in Patchogue especially, even though it's becoming such a big spot for people to go in, all the business owners are super involved with each other. Like, they know everyone. I mean, we know,
absolutely.
Restaurant owners, bar owners, the cigar shop. Everyone is intertwined. They're all. It's almost like everyone's pulling for everyone else to succeed.
No doubt. The love I've felt from the people of Patchogue and the business owners is tremendous. They welcomed me with open arms, and I'm so grateful for that. I mean, we haven't even opened yet. So, we had a little event for the St. Paddy's Day Parade here in Patchogue, and that was a big success for us. And I'm really, really looking forward to being, part of the Alive After 5. That's something I've always kind of had my eye on as something I wanted to get a part of. But yeah, can't wait. About 3 weeks away. So we're really excited.
Do you have anything set up for like the grand opening, or?
So the grand opening is roughly going to be mid to late May. We're going to have actually kind of a soft opening first, and what we're going to do in our
I come?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you guys are absolutely welcome. So it's funny you say that, because that meeting is actually going to be strictly intended for media. I'm a huge believer in how important digital media is, social media. I think it's extremely important for businesses.
You can see that with your website. We got it up right now.
Awesome.
I think it's extremely important for your brand and building your business brand. I cannot say that enough. I think that is really the way every business owner should be thinking, is digital and how to be a presence in their space digitally.
100%. I mean, me personally, if I'm looking to buy a product and you don't have a website, it's a huge red flag for me.
Absolutely.
And then even if you have a website, if you have like no e-commerce or anything like that you could get involved with, and I have to like call to order a product,
I'll pay more somewhere else that I could order it online and read reviews about it and stuff like that versus
Absolutely.
having to either go to a brick and mortar store or obviously coffee's a little different.
Sure.
But
If you guys have a chance, you can check out eastendcoffeeroasters.com. Eastendcoffeeroasters.com. That's our e-com site for our roasting company, where you can purchase our coffee that's roasted locally right here on the island, and we ship it nationally and internationally as well. So we import from over 30 countries, as I was talking about before. Eastendcoffeeroasters.com, and then you could see.
You can feel free to yell at him when he botches. So
Oh,
just-
no.
we
yell
try
at
to
him.
we try to berate him as much as possible. So feel free to jump on
It's all
that.
good, man. We haven't met. What's up? How you doing, Rob? Nice to meet you, man. Thank you.
We try to give him the business as much as we
Yeah,
can. So
of
feel free to
course.
join in.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. So
the harder of a time you give him, the more you like him.
Yeah.
That's
Good.
the way we look at it.
Sure. So yeah,
right.
I mean, we're that's kind of where I'm going right now. So
I got a question for you. It's an important one for me too.
Sure.
And it's purely selfish. So before we got started, I was telling you I just got a new job. I used to work out in Seaford. I had a pretty standard routine every morning. I'd wake up, I'd drive into town, I'd get coffee, and I'd roll out. So now that I work so close, that's changed a little bit. It doesn't make sense for me to head into town anymore. So I'm going to start. Now I also have time for a morning routine, right? So
Sure.
I can enjoy my
Huge
coffee at
believer,
home, relax.
absolutely.
So I'm going to start ordering coffee, and this is the perfect avenue for me. So recommend to me a good coffee that I should start with to start my morning routine with.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, my personal favorite is our Costa Rican. It's not too light, it's not too strong. It's kind of really a perfect balance. Really, it's a single origin, like I said, from Costa Rica. That's my personal favorite. So if you're actually on the site, you could click on it. There's a huge description all about it, where it comes from, how we roast it, and some kind of other people that we found to enjoy the coffee as well. They may or may not be true from the endorsements that we have. So I thought that was pretty humorous. I know a lot of our customers appreciate that. You see the Costa Rican George Clooney, Derek Jeter, and Salma Hayek enjoy it. So
Salma Hayek.
they may or may not.
Let's talk about how hot Salma Hayek still is, by the way.
God, it's so hot.
She's like 50 years old, and she's still smoke show. So I'll be buying that coffee then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If that gets me closer to Salma, I'm into it.
Funny enough that you have George Clooney on there. One of the guys that works for me, like we have a coffee pot in my office or whatever, so we take turns buying coffee or whatever. And somebody
Sure.
recently brought in a bag of Laughing Man coffee, and we're looking at it, and it's got like it looks like George Clooney on the cover, and we're like, is that fucking George Clooney? I think it was George Clooney. It was some famous actor, and I'm pretty sure it's George Clooney. And we're like, that's not
Laughing
George Clooney.
Man. I've never heard of that.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. Okay.
Hugh Jackman is he owns this coffee company.
Wow.
We're like, why the hell would they have Hugh Jackman on the cover of
That's
of this?
influencer marketing
Yeah.
right there.
And I was
Influencer
like, because
marketing.
he owns the company.
Yeah. Is that it? Does he own it?
Yeah, he owns the company.
I don't know what he. I guess you know what. For him, he has a big reach with the Australian population, and coffee's really
Yeah.
big in Australia, so that makes sense for him. But yeah, it's another thing. Even if he didn't, I mean, it's just where everything is
Smart,
going.
yeah.
It's where everything is going. Influencer market, getting the right people on, on the right product, and really just targeting an audience and mastering that. You've got a very successful business. You just have to have really all those pieces in place. But that's really smart.
So, what's different about the Patchogue location that's going to set it apart from like Babylon or Bayshore?
Great question. I've been getting this question a lot. It's great.
Because I've been to both.
Sure.
And I like them both.
Yeah, they're both phenomenal stores. They're both very successful, and they're both really have, like I said, integrated and been really a part of their towns. For Patchogue, it's a little different, though. First off is just really its size. The size of the store is the largest coffee house on the island. So, yeah, that's something I'm super proud of. When we had this space, it was a little daunting because I knew it was something we've never done, something I've personally never done. And I've actually GC'd and designed the store as well. So, from a standpoint of really opening the doors, I cannot wait, and I cannot wait for the people of Patchogue to see it. But yeah, what really separates us, I think, first is its size, and secondly, I think I was always raised to have big personality. I think the store has a great, huge personality. As soon as you walk in, the design from the floor to the ceiling is really overkill in a coffee house. There's really nothing like it. It is. It is a place really where you can have a huge business meeting up to about 12 people in the back of the shop. It's a place for families and moms and strollers, and very, very computer friendly. There's outlets everywhere, and that's a huge problem in coffee shops. That you're fighting for an outlet. It really is a very functional space. So
well, everyone has to type there, and if you're not writing in a coffee shop, then are you really even writing?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's funny that back in the day it used to be everyone reading a coffee house, quiet. Now it's everybody on their computer, quiet. And I think what we do differently is that they're not quiet in Patchogue. They're not quiet in Babylon and Bayshore. I think they're really going to be just as lively as the village itself. And something I'm really big on is music. We have a ton of music. We have live music every weekend. We have an open mic night during the week. So it really gives the village kind of a place and a platform to express themselves, which I think everyone is, in need for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to be doing Are you going to be doing later hours as well?
Yeah. Our hours again are insane. Believe me. And I'm going to be working most of them. So, we're actually open about a little over 120 hours a week, from about 5:30 in the morning to about 11 at night. So,
Whoa.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's great.
We'll be open, and
I'm a big late night coffee person. So.
absolutely, yeah, and the late night population, is so great with desserts. We're a big bakery as well. We have a ton of baked goods. So for all your late night guys, it's huge. It's another place to go and hang out. You could sit there. Excuse me. You could sit there, relax, and hang out for a couple hours, and just have a great conversation. So it's a great place to have a date. It's a great place to get together with the guys, and and then go out. So right now we're actually in the process of potentially getting our liquor license.
Wow.
That was going to be my next thing to ask, because Patchogue is a wet town.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So that's something that I really always wanted from day one. Before I got into the Bean about 2 years ago, the whole goal was actually to start a company called Brew and Brew. That was the inspiration, a coffee shop bar. I really felt that like a coffee shop bar would be a cornerstone and a real destination.
That's an awesome idea.
Brew and Brew, yeah. That was an inspiration I got on the beach about 3 years ago, and I was like, this is it. This is it.
That is a great idea. That's something that we talk about a lot, how, there's not a place to go to kind of sit down, have a couple of drinks, and shoot the shit that's not a loud party atmosphere.
That's exactly right.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
I don't want to go to the public house. I don't want to go.
Nothing.
No, but not.
I actually had a cocktail yesterday at the public house, so I love the public house.
Not that
I
I
think
don't.
we all do.
Yeah, not that I don't want to go there. Period. But I
Sure.
mean, I'm a little bit older
You
now.
need to find that there's a niche for everything.
Right.
Is what it is.
Right.
And to have a conversation in a place like that, sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do.
No question.
So you want that, not soft music, but a little lower music,
Exactly.
a little different atmosphere.
It's such a
Still
different
fun.
vibe that the community really doesn't have.
Yeah, I want to
it's-
be out, have a drink, but able to have a conversation as well.
Exactly. And there are going to be so many nights I'm anticipating in the summer where the village is so alive, and we have the doors open out to our patio, and we have live music playing, and the sun is setting. It's just going to be a perfect environment for everyone in Patchogue to enjoy and to feel free to spend as much time or as little as you like. So it will be that place for sure.
That's a real good idea.
Yeah.
So
I'm like now I'm even
so
more
excited.
excited.
we need a petition. Is what we need, guys. We need a petition. We need as many people on my side as possible. We really have to get this liquor license. Something I'm working on right now.
We'll throw it up on social media. We'll push it out there for you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great. We're working on that right now, and I think if we get it, what my intention is actually really not to have a full bar, but limited liqueurs. That has been a huge demand in our other locations where we couldn't get it. So it's
My
kind
shot
of
of
like
Jameson
not
and
once,
coffee.
not twice, but the third time. Hopefully this will work here in Patchogue. So,
I can't see why it won't. It makes so much sense.
and we have a 12-person bar built in the store for that idea. So even designing this place prior to running into any
knew that's what you
issue,
wanted.
this is really what I wanted. Coming off of the idea of Brew and Brew, that just set the tone, and that was kind of the bar I wanted to achieve. So hopefully we get it, and then then we're off to the races as far as a almost 24-hour business. We close a few hours during the night, but we're like 7-Eleven. We're constantly open, 364. We're closed on Christmas, even Thanksgiving we're open. So, absolutely we'll
After all that turkey, you need a cup of coffee.
yeah, for sure. We do have half days and things like that. Our employees need some time, of course, but for me right now, just getting the business off the ground is the most important thing. So Like I said, it's a new baby, and I think it's really important that I treat it like that. So it needs a lot of my time. It needs a lot of my attention. So, whatever it needs, it'll get from me for sure.
Is your blood type coffee? It's great.
Yeah, this is something we built a while ago, and it's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
I can't get this out of my head. Eric and I have talked about this several times because I guess we're a little bit more of the we don't party as much anymore.
Yeah.
We're more of like to go out, have a drink, relax, have a conversation, and look at girls. And Eric's married, so it's look, don't touch.
That's right.
So that's
I
perfectly
agree.
up our alley, and I'm also what I was thinking lately too. I like cigars too. I'm a big cigar guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
sit
love
there.
Village Cigar Headquarters, and
Hell yeah, we
awesome.
had.
amazing guys.
Miguel's
Miguel's-
We did a
Miguel's-
podcast
yeah.
at the shop there with Miguel.
Miguel's a great
Yeah.
guy. Again,
So good.
another really great ambassador for this village for sure. He's
Awesome guy.
He's built a great business, and lucky enough to have another one in Babylon, which is our sister town as well. They have a great business, great guys that run it.
Yeah.
And,
He had us come march in the Christmas parade with him and stuff.
Yeah.
It was
yeah,
awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
totally the right kind of guy for that kind of business. When you really need to get to know the community, I think you need a character like Miguel. So hats off to him. And,
Character is the best way to describe it.
I mean, listen. At
in
the end of the
best
day,
possible way.
all of our customers are known as characters.
Yeah.
And we are all characters. So it really is like sometimes out of central casting with some of the people that we get. But it's what makes the business fun. If they were robotic people every day, it definitely wouldn't be as exciting to go to work for sure.
I could just picture myself rolling down there, grabbing a cigar, grabbing a coffee with some rum in it.
Flavored cigar.
Yeah, fuck yeah, and then sitting out, like you said, watching the sunset, smoking a cigar, having like a drink, listening to Eric's crazy ramblings. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
That's right up my alley. That's obviously, we're doing a podcast. Obviously, I like to sit down and talk. So I mean,
Sure.
that's right up my alley.
And as a matter of fact, the Bean of Patchogue will have a podcast as well.
Yeah, about that. So cut this short.
This is where it ends, guys. No, the store is
Yeah, sorry.
the store is really looking to be more than just a brick and mortar. I really want it to be a presence in everyone's life. Digitally, face to face. I really want the store to be an authority, a coffee house, a place that is really a destination on the island, and that's really what our goal is. So. One of the ways we're looking to achieve that is through having a podcast, a YouTube channel, on how-tos, and having different people on the show, different characters. As we said, definitely want to have you guys on our show. So once we're up and running, we'll go back and forth, which is really cool. So maybe we'll do an episode at the shop.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
that'd be
We've done a couple satellite podcasts. We
Yeah.
did one with Miguel at the Village Cigar headquarters. We did one inside a Toast when it opened to
It
Patchogue.
looks so badass too.
Yeah.
it's
It's awesome.
it's so sick in a shop when you see all the microphones. You really think it's it's a great production. And this is like like I said when I first met you guys hit the nail on the head, because this really is the way everyone's going. Everyone's going voice.
Yeah.
And Audible is huge, and getting your your chapters of your book in through your headset while you're running in the morning. It's becoming a very efficient lifestyle.
Yeah,
So.
that's the way it is. I feel like so few people are opening books now. Not so few, but like it's become more and more of listening, because it's a constant thing. It's like you said, running. It's at the gym.
Yeah.
Like I listen to podcasts constantly.
Absolutely.
I listen to books.
I can't tell you the last time I read a book. I listen to books
Yeah.
because I listen when I drive, I listen when I run, when
Exactly
I
right.
exercise, when I'm laying in bed, I'll listen to a book.
Yep.
And you get through a book so much faster, even when you really don't have the time.
Running and
you're-
podcasts or running in books is the best combination.
Absolutely.
great.
You
So
find
great.
yourself
Work your body
laughing
weight. Yeah.
on a run.
Yeah.
And everyone's looking at you like, why is this guy laughing? What is so funny?
It's
Yeah,
great
I
'cause
find
it
it-
makes that time fly by.
Exactly.
Like you get lost in a story
Yeah.
or a podcast, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I just did 3 miles.
And for us here, if we do an hour clip's an hour clip run too.
Yeah.
So that could help you get through your day, get through your workout. So
Exactly.
It definitely does. Even my new job, I got the space to just plug my headphones in and work. And the podcast is perfect. I was a big commuter, so I would listen to podcasts all the time. I thought I was going to kind of miss out on that. I don't now. I have just as much time at work. I plug in the headphones, I listen and work, and the day fucking
That's it.
snaps by.
That's
so
it. And
it's
the week
perfect.
clicks by. And then before you know it, it's Friday night. So
Yeah. So
And then you're heading out in Patchogue to get a drink and coffee.
listen, going back to what you said earlier, I totally agree. Though from kind of an older standpoint, you know, Patchogue has amazing places to go. It has amazing waterfront spots. It has so many great downtown spots. But like you said, as we're getting older, I'm getting older. We're definitely not getting younger. And away from kind of like the nighttime DJ crowd, right? I mean, like we're at the point where, like you said, you want to have one drink, a cocktail, conversation, maybe head home.
Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of that. I used to DJ for 5-6 years. I still do it. I have an event company called Press Play Events. We're located in Babylon Village. And, you know, like even with me, I find myself wanting to, you know, head on in at like 9:30 now on a Friday. I'm like, man, I am getting old. So it's definitely, you know, all about convenience and making sure that, you know, we can listen to that podcast at any time. So that's huge.
what are you envisioning podcast wise with the Bean?
Sure. It's so what I really want to do, I actually want to try to capitalize on all the platforms. So for example, we have about a 45-minute show, right? That and I have a guest, just like you guys, kind of movers and shakers, as you said it best before. Guys from the village, guys that are doing things, you know, involving a lot of the characters of the town and allowing them to kind of share what's on their mind and use the platform of the store's podcast and YouTube channel to really voice what they want to talk about. Possibly calling it Bean Radio. I think it's a concept. But what we'll do, we'll take the podcast and rip it into a YouTube channel and possibly edit that, then throw that on the social and the Facebook and Instagram. And, you know, we'll have all the Snapchats up. So I think trying to maximize and leverage each conversation is huge.
You know, it's funny. This is off topic, but I'm looking. You know, Rob's sitting right across from me. I'm looking at you. You got the sweater on, but I see your hands are filthy. You're the kind of guy. You're doing the work.
Oh yeah,
you're doing work in the store. I like that. See,
That is
like
so
I
true.
like that you got both layers to you right now.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
he's
for
got
sure.
he's got a snazzy sweater on, but his hands are fucking filthy, disgusting.
Well, I don't want to say I'm dirty.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. No,
Though,
there's no.
You were working all day
Sure,
today.
that's
doing
exactly
construction.
right. Yep,
I
exactly,
admire that.
yeah.
I think that's, you know. Look,
Yeah, I
you know,
actually
I got
just
some
left the
grease in my
store.
nails and shit too. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't have as
same.
snazzy of a sweater on, but
I just left the store, so yeah. I mean, we're 3 weeks away, and I'm definitely not the kind of guy that's going to let it happen. I have to be there and really have, you know, my hands on. That's just the kind of person I am. I really want to be in control, and you know, I'm a big believer that if you tell somebody to do something, you better be, you know, able to do it yourself. So I think for me to kind of aid in the contracting aspect of this build out and this business, I learned a lot. So it was very, very valuable, and I learned really what not to do in the next store. So I think that information is so valuable. It's worth all of the time that I've spent at the shop.
I'm a big believer in that myself. I always say that I don't ask for anything that I don't demand of myself.
Absolutely.
I use that when I'm like, if I'm coaching or I'm working, whatever it is. Anything I ask of you is not anything that I wouldn't demand of myself.
Absolutely.
And I think that's
I
a
think you
good
have
way to live.
And again, it goes back to just knowing yourself, you know, being self-aware and knowing who you are and who you're not, you know, and knowing what you're good at and what you're not. That is huge, I think, in really being successful on a day-to-day basis. I think, you know, knowing your strengths and tripling down on them are huge, and trying to be as efficient as possible and as functional as possible. And even from mentally to physically to emotionally, I think compartmentalizing all of these things is uber important, especially for an entrepreneur.
I would tend to agree. I mean, I'm not an entrepreneur, but
Well, no, listen, this podcast has tremendous potential. I mean, there's, like you said, 83 shows. You guys have a lot of big names on it, and I think, you know, this has a great chance of really taking off as a business, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does it at all. So, who knows, maybe, you know, you're just you're making your way through this world, so through this digital podcast world, it absolutely can become a business for sure.
we definitely see that
Aspect.
aspect of it. More than anything else, though, I think what we got started on was trying to make sure that what we're doing is authentic and that we're having
Sure.
fun with it.
Yeah, genuine.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't want to. People will suggest me guests all the time, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
And they're like, why not? I'm
They
like,
don't fit.
Because I don't want to talk to them. That's
They don't
why.
fit in,
They don't
yeah.
fit the mold.
We don't
Yeah.
want you.
If you're not somebody I want to talk to, I don't want to have you on. And it's not anything personal. It's just that I don't. This is how I choose to spend my Thursday night. If I'm to spend, an hour to 2 hours of my time, I want to make sure it's something I enjoy. That I'm not just doing it because I can maybe get paid. You know,
Of course. No, it has to be genuine. It has to be authentic. And I think, you guys are building such a great podcast and culture. Even, you're building a culture, and based on kind of the it's an open format. You have no real, there's no walls, there's no regulations, there's no rules. So
Nope.
it's
like
like you said, the Wild West in this podcast, and who knows where it'll go. So
Exactly.
I love the idea of keeping it authentic and genuine, and no advertisements or anything like that. But for now, this is tremendous. So I appreciate you guys having me on for sure.
Absolutely.
We love it.
You're doing something in my hometown with something I drink every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, that's
How would I not?
Yeah.
that's really what I want to do. I want to be that guy in town that everyone feels safe to, comfortable, and really, 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 like I said before, a cornerstone. I can't emphasize that enough. I think every village needs one, and hopefully we'll be that one. So it's really something I'm looking forward to.
So let's disengage this for a second, right? So now I'm curious because, like I said, I saw you got your hands dirty and shit like that. So what? Take you're 25, young guy. So like, what's your background? Where you come from?
Sure. Yeah, that's another question I get asked a lot too, which is great. 25 years young, grew up on the South Shore, Long Island, Babylon, West Islip area. Love where I lived. Grew up on Fire Island in the summer. Spent a ton of time on the beach as a kid. Huge beach guy. Love to travel. Love to
Ocean
run.
Beach guy.
Ocean Beach, Seaview, Ocean Bay Park, Kismet, Atlantique. Those are my spots. Spent a ton of time on Fire Island. Went away to school. Got a full scholarship to Division I program in track. Ran at the University of Maine. Long story short, tore my patella tendon in my left knee.
Oof.
Tremendous injury. Cannot run again.
Yeah.
Couldn't run for 6 months. Totally emotionally, totally disturbing.
How old were you?
I was about 19. I was 19, 19 years old. And tore my patella tendon, career-ending injury. I still run today. Not competitive at all, unfortunately, but I was once fast. I was once a fast guy, so those are my glory days, and it sucks because I'm only 25 and I have glory days. But, so from there, lost my scholarship, came home, continued school, finished up at Farmingdale. Through this process, though, I lifeguarded, like I said, big beach guy. And I was actually overpaid my last week of being 19 years young. And I got overpaid $1,700, like I said. Took that $1,700 and invested that in about $1,700 worth of DJing equipment. So I think the bill was like $1,690, and I spent everything. I spent every single thing on it, knowing that there was something there.
Right.
I knew there was a demand for it. I knew I was always the guy that at parties that were like, Rob, put your iPod on. DJ Rob, put your iPod on. And I was like, all right, like maybe, maybe I'll try this as a little business. And, I started doing small events, and then I really kind of learned the craft. And, I failed a lot, but that's really how I learned. And I really took those failures as kind of learning experiences and what not to do, really. Grew the company called Cutrone Entertainment, my last name Entertainment. Grew it to a point really where I was booking multiple jobs in the same day and realized that I couldn't fulfill them. So a lot of times I would be sending out some of my guys, and they're like, this isn't Rob, we hired Rob. And that just really wasn't something that I could scale. So we rebranded and we became Press Play Events and Entertainment. We have an office in Babylon Village, a 2,000 square foot warehouse in Deer Park. And that's a full-service DJ and entertainment company that provides weddings, Sweet 16s, corporate events to all over Long Island from Montauk to Manhattan. So we're really growing in that space, and that is how I was fortunate enough to invest in coffee. So really something I'm proud of, and I've watched grow from what was a pallet of equipment, delivered to my front door. So super pumped about that.
That's awesome. I know a lot of people that have been college athletes and did the exact opposite of that. Would get hurt, lose their scholarship, and that was it. That they just crash and burn from there. It was can't do what I love, so that's it. I'm gonna start drinking. I'm gonna start popping pills. So to see you turn it around completely,
it wasn't going to get me down for sure. I mean, in the running world, it was definitely defeated, and it wasn't even up to me. It was just what my body was allowing me to do or not do,
right.
Which really sucked. It was something I really couldn't get through. You know, from once being able to do something and then being, you know, to a point where you can't do it anymore. It's really, really tough. And, you know, music was always my passion. It was always a way I kind of unwinded and just relaxed. So I knew that I could take a passion, grow it into a business, and watch it grow. So now we have 16 guys. Like I said, we're all over. We're 365 business, and it's something I'm super proud of, and stuff that really has been kind of the platform to jump from that to now East End Coffee, as well as the coffee houses. So super excited about it.
I've been through that myself a couple times, like in a microcosm, you know, over the period of time when I was training and fighting and
Sure.
getting injured.
Every
And,
athlete has these ups and downs, which sucks, but it's a part of the roller coaster for sure.
It's the
what
worst.
You do it after.
Oh,
That's
I'm the worst
What you
at
learn
it.
from it, then, like what you. But not really.
I would-
though,
if
'cause
I-
you haven't been, you've never been defeated by it. Like
No,
you're not,
but in that space, like in the time of my injury, because I don't know how, like, there's no in between with me. I'm either all in or all the way out. Like,
I
so,
agree.
Like, if I'm training, I had a fight coming up. I was super strict. I wouldn't drink. My diet was great, but then. You know, I get injured, and it's like, all right, I can't train. So it's like, all right, I'm on the couch popping pills and eating Doritos.
Yeah,
you know what I
no,
mean? Like
there's
that 2
definitely gotta
weeks
be
a month is just like a nightmare.
There's definitely got to be a happy medium, and
I'm not good at those.
You know, it takes time though. It takes time to find really what can be your escape. You know, what is your therapy? And at the end of the day, to me, running is. So exercise is, when a lot of people's, you know, a bottle of Jack or, like you said, pills. That really was never something that I even thought about. Just the way I was raised. Just the way I was raised, really. Huge hats off to my parents. They did a really great job. I thank them all the time. They are the reason I am who I am, for sure. And same thing to my older sister, my younger brother. You know, three great kids. So hats off to mom and dad, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to balance. It's good that you have that, because I struggle with that balance. I don't know how to do anything in between. I'm like 0 or 100 most times.
Yeah, I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's bad either. I think you hit the nail on the head saying you're in or you're not, and I think that's really kind of the way you should approach anything that you do. You know, you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it, because there's going to be no halfway point. You know, you're not going to do something incomplete because then you didn't do it.
Right.
So it's definitely something.
and then you're just wasting time.
You're wasting time. You're
energy could be
you're just
focused
fooling
somewhere
yourself.
else.
You're fooling yourself. So be honest with yourself and commit to something. I think that's huge.
I find that anything, like you said, it's not what anything you're asking somebody else is not anything you don't ask from yourself, and how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So
Absolutely, it's a mindset.
It's I could see, you know, in what are we 45 minutes in, I could definitely see that's it extends from your personality into your business end. So
I appreciate it. Thank
that's
you.
That's a good thing. I think that's a good quality. I think that's
Yeah.
why you've had the success that you have.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's something.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna start insulting you soon.
We haven't got there yet, guys. We haven't got there yet.
Just because we like you.
It's something. No, it's something that's so big. I mean, it's something that I feel really has such an energy to it. You know, it's amazing. People really go off of your energy and your vibe, and just the way you kind of, you know, lead your life. I think that, you know, if you could be a role model to someone and someone want to mirror you and the way you lead, I think that's so admirable. And I think in the debate of being loved or being feared, I don't even see how anyone could pick fear.
Eric would. Would you rather be loved or feared? Yeah, I'm saying you pick fear every time.
I pick love, man. I think you know, a huge mantra of mine. I'm sure you guys all agree, as you know, upstanding guys that you are. Just do the right thing. I think doing the right thing is kind of the mantra and the way to not worry about anything. You know, treat people right. You know, to be right by your customers, be right by your employees, be right by your family, be right by your friends, your relationship. I think doing the right thing is just the mantra to have every day.
Leave people better than when you found them.
Absolutely, for sure, and add value. I think if you can add value, and you know, it doesn't really cost much. I think you know, that's something that goes so much further than just that gesture.
So what's your downtime like? Not that you have a ton of it.
Non-existent.
Well, when you have it, when you do have it, what's
If you had some, how would it go?
yeah? If you obviously you're not gonna have any right now, launch another business or anything like that. But you know what's your big thing
Sure.
when you're looking for it? Because everybody that's super motivated, I find has a
Goal.
de-stressing mechanism that they go to, because sometimes So I learned this from one of our podcast guests, Mike the Caveman. Shout out to Mike the Caveman. People like you, who are always on the go doing things, people like ourselves, it's called an allostatic load, which is how much stress that you're under constantly.
I agree with that.
And you need to find a way to decompress from that.
No
so
question.
Your allostatic load is obviously tremendous. So
I appreciate that.
at some point,
Listen,
you have to look to unwind. So what's your go-to? Like, what do you do?
Well,
Besides running for therapy,
sure,
stuff like
sure.
that. I mean, pure relaxation, clear your mind.
I definitely first I want to just talk to your point of pain tolerance, stress tolerance. I think it's huge to be so aware as to like what you know you can take on and what you know you cannot take on. And I think a lot of times people get overwhelmed, they take on too much, they can't handle it, and they buckle. So self-awareness, again, going back to that. But as far as, what is my kind of de-stressor, to be honest with you, I love to watch television. Watching TV is my thing, man. Are
we taking you away from Jersey right now?
No. I watch television. That's a straight comedy. But it's funny, believe it or not. Of course, I love CNBC. I love all the business shows. I love Shark Tank. I love The Profit.
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank is exploding. Shark Tank
recently.
exploded.
It's very interesting. It's really like the whole thought process behind it, the way.
What is Shark Tank?
So it's so it's like Mark Cuban.
Educate
it's a
us.
show. It's basically a show of entrepreneurs that
where they pitch
an
it.
idea,
Okay, I have seen it.
Yes.
I have seen it.
It's a household name now. I mean, families are watching it. It's really a family show now. It's on ABC. It's also on CNBC.
Yeah.
But yeah, TV is huge. I love smoking a cigar with the guys. I love to de-stress like that. I love a good cigar. Like I said, a good drink. I love a good drink, good conversation. I think that's huge. I love to go for walks and just chill and kind of give my mind a break. But like you said, being a business owner, it's not easy. But having that time is so important. In my opinion, it's just as important as working, is having that allocated time for yourself.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes we forget to be selfish, and sometimes we're giving all our energy to our business or to a family or to a relationship. And I think we have to remember we have to have our time for ourselves as well.
You absolutely do. And the problem so many times with people is they'll only do stuff for others and not do anything for themselves.
Exactly.
That they wind up hurting, their overall
So true.
Interaction with people, their business, because that's all that they do. They never take that time for themselves to decompress and to recalibrate and readjust.
You can't help anyone else unless you help yourself. Unless you are served and you're taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. I think spiritually even. Those are the divisions of making sure that they're all in 9s and 10s. Before you can think of helping someone else. So making sure you're on your 2 feet is something I'm really big on as well.
I think there's an overglorification of hustle, especially now with social media.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with hustling and being motivated and shit, but and I learned this, just from getting older and redlining myself. Eric and Chris yell at me a lot about sometimes I do too much physically, like with training and stuff like that. I get obsessive.
That's
it. I've learned a lot from redlining myself that performance is not just work. It's a lot of recovery and rest,
huge.
Mentally, physically, and I think there's an overglorification of being busy. It's good to be busy, but it's good to relax, and I've finally started to learn that. It took me fucking 34 years, but
I agree, man. I think, like you said, I think it's definitely glorified, being a hustler and being a busy guy and always on the run.
No days off.
No days off. And you see the guy wearing a Rolex, and, he's got Louis Vuitton shoes on, and he's driving a Jaguar, and, you question, what does he do? And then you find out that what he does is that he collects an allowance from his mom and dad that are very wealthy people. So you don't do anything,
from
You're
collecting
taking
that
no
insurance.
days off from that life.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of us would. But
you don't need days off when you're doing that shit.
That's right. That's right.
Your whole life is a day off.
I think it's really important too to showcase your alone time. Whether or not you even want to. You don't have to. That's for you. That's for you. That's for you.
Like you see, I've seen 50 Cent and him talking about how much he sleeps, and Puffy that they only sleep 4 hours a night, and these
they don't need to.
There's that one guy. Who's the guy? The preacher guy. He had that video that went viral not too long ago. If you want to be successful as much as you want to breathe, That guy. You guys know what I'm talking
Huge.
about?
Yes, of course.
It was viral. It was crazy. And,
Huge.
he talked about that. He goes, these guys, Puff Daddy, 50 Cent, they sleep 4 hours a night because they're busy hustling. And it's like, I don't, maybe they do, but, Puffy doesn't need to, like you said, he doesn't need to only sleep 4 hours a night. That guy's loaded as fuck. That guy can take 8 hours. It's
Diddy,
fine.
50 Cent, all of these guys don't know anyone that works for them. So that just kind of gives you an idea as to how involved they are with the businesses that they have.
Right.
And
Right.
there's no question
They're
that
figureheads at this
they're
point,
trying, of
yeah.
course, they're just trying to leverage their personality as the face of hustler. I am a hustler.
Right.
I don't think there's anyone more of a hustler than your deli owner, because deli owners work 7 days a week,
Yeah,
365.
Up at 5 a.m.
And they're never showcased.
Yeah.
But you have Diddy with all his bling on, driving a Range Rover. But I think that sometimes we're, overlooking just the common man, the hardworking, blue-collar man. I think,
You ever watch A Bronx Tale?
yeah, of
You
course.
said you're reminding me right
Of
now.
course.
Your father's the tough guy.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Get up every day and go to work.
De Niro's the man.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, that's America.
Working man's a sucker.
That's right. De Niro in Bronx Tale is
Great movie.
Yeah, it's classic. I mean, Goodfellas, that whole era was tremendous. But
Well, that scene in A Bronx Tale, that's just what went through my head
Collagedo.
when you're saying, when
Collagedo.
he's telling me, he's like, your father's the tough guy.
Yeah.
Get up every morning. He's like, you know how many times I got to drop that bus for you to eat steak?
That's right. That's right, Don.
True.
That's understanding value. That's understanding that it's not easy in this world. So you really have to appreciate everything you have. And there's no question that Robert De Niro is depicted as the average man, blue collar man, hardworking guy. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I think a lot of times that they're very overlooked, and we really have to understand what their mind is at, regardless of what their position or job is. So something to think about.
I just, I have a hard time with all that stuff. I just, like I said, I'm big into authenticity.
Absolutely.
I don't like to misrepresent myself, and I'm not a big fan of people that misrepresent themselves as well. And I feel like people can sniff that out on you. You can smell
you could
that
spot that very quickly.
right away.
You could spot that very quickly.
And,
Spot a poser.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So, good, be a hustler, but don't oversell it.
Yeah.
Don't
embellish on it. Just be you.
Yeah, do what you're doing, be
I really
busy.
think that there's nothing more important, honestly, than being humble. I think being humble is huge. I think being humble speaks volumes when you don't have to say anything. I think the guy in a room of people that are talking and he's not, I think that is the guy I want to talk to. Because he doesn't feel the need to say anything. He's comfortable in his own skin in the corner of the room when everyone feels they need the stage. And I think that guy is the guy that I'd be worried about, because he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
So that's just the way to go throughout your life. I mean, your shit. You know your shit. You're good. No one else needs to know.
Yeah, it's usually the people that yell the loudest that have the least going on. They're fake.
And they're haters, too.
Yeah.
They're all
100%.
haters. But I love them. Honestly, the haters are my fuel every single day. They are the reason why I do what I do and at the rate at which I do it. And they're the fuel to my day. There's no question. If I didn't have haters...
Coffee.
And coffee, believe
Do we
me.
have haters yet?
We've had haters since day one.
yeah,
We've had haters.
No, I mean the Six Bro podcast. Do we have haters yet? I don't even
Oh,
know.
yeah, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, yes.
We're gonna get some. We're gonna get some.
I'm sure. Listen, if anybody's
But
listened
listen,
to any of our
don't change what you're
podcasts,
doing.
they've probably hated us because we've said some awful shit.
Haters keep hating, please.
If you don't hate us yet, go back into the archives. We've done 80. This is our 83rd episode. Pick one.
Yeah. Listen to them all. You'll find something to hate us about.
Good. I mean, like I said, to me, again, it depends on how you really take that. If you let that bother you and you let that get in your head, they live in your head. They have a condo with a 2-car garage in your head. We're not going to,
The only person that can fuck up my head is me.
That's it. That's right. That's exactly the mindset. No one on earth is going to get in your head. And I think that's another way to go about yourself and to think clear and just live a happy life. I don't think if you let others into your head, then you're not living your life. You're living their life.
Yeah.
So haters keep hating, please, because you are the fuel for sure.
We gotta go out and get some of those.
Don't worry, you got people that hate you.
I'm sure I do. I just never. I guess I've never really thought about it.
You know what? With haters, I feel that, you could have a whole chapter on hating and everything like that, but the funny thing is I feel that if people are jealous, they won't compliment you, and you spot them. You spot them, and they might even be someone in your family, your friends, and it sucks because you're like, I thought you were here to support me, not take advantage of me, you know. So
what I've noticed is I've seen that type of behavior, and you see people who look for flaws in other people to validate their own.
No
You know what I mean?
doubt. Again, a huge sign though. It's almost like an illness. I feel honestly, it's really sad.
It's insecurity.
It's sad. It's
Yeah, it's
insecure. You know, from probably the time of being a young child, they were, you know, not treated right, and then didn't grow up properly, feeling comfortable with themselves. So,
Yeah.
you know, feeling like
Scarcity. It's a scarcity mentality, like that. There's not enough to go around for everybody. Like if you're successful, I have a less chance of being successful. And
Right.
That's really not the case. There's plenty out there for everybody. It's just a matter of going and getting it. You know
No
what I mean?
question.
Like your success doesn't take away from mine at all. You know, I think
I mean,
that's
if anything, I think it really should be kind of a way to add value to your life.
100%.
You know, I think if you have someone in your circle, in your life, in your family, your friends, someone you know, pick their brain. You know, don't be afraid to ask.
Well, that's what we started That's why we started this podcast. You know what I mean? Like, we want to celebrate people, movers and shakers, people that are doing things.
That's
I
it.
want to give as much light to people
Yeah.
as I can, and I also find that speaking to people always gives me perspective that I hadn't considered before. So it's always added value to me. I take a lot away from almost every podcast, and the cool thing about it is not only do we give people platforms, and you know, you see what people are doing, you get a lot of different looks at things. We've had people come on, guests that were my friend, guests that were Chris's friend, guests that were Eric's friend,
Sure.
that maybe I didn't know or Chris didn't know. And by the end of that, it's all hugs and love. And then you see that person a week or two later, somebody who's a perfect stranger to you, give them a big fucking hug. You're happy to see that person. This is how you really get to know people.
Sure.
Sitting down talking with them.
It's raw. It's
It's
very
been
raw.
the coolest thing,
Yeah.
and it makes me, it helps fight that instinct that maybe some people would have. I think you get happy to see our success. You get happy to see
Yeah,
your
I think
success
the
because
good energy people will feel that way. They live off of it. You know, they feed off of it. There's no question that. I mean, at least I'm that way. I could speak for myself that I love to see people prosper.
yeah,
Because
the better you do, the better we do.
No question.
It just goes hand in hand.
No question.
I'll be
No
happy
question.
to see you successful because I could be like, look, man, that guy was on my fucking show and he's killing it. And you
Yeah.
know, like,
There's no question that I think that, you know, we need to use each other to motivate each other and to support each other. If we can, we should. You know, if
except Steve.
we won't
No,
support Steve.
We want Steve to stay crippled.
Is that why you have Churchill up there? 'Cause you can't walk either.
That's funny. That's it. What happened, Steve? What happened?
He's my spirit animal.
Winston Churchill.
Steve,
Smoking and drinking.
Steve and I worked together years ago at Motorola. Steve, when I first started working there, Steve was the guy who trained me, and we've
you guys
remained
go back.
friends. Yeah, awesome guy. I love the guy, but I like to make fun of him. as
Sure,
much as
bust
I
some
can.
chops. Absolutely.
And he's crippled. He's got 2 bad legs, so I like to point that out every chance I get.
You were getting some looks yesterday.
Oh yeah, so I got Steve training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Nice.
It only took 10 years to get him to do it.
That's next for me. I want to do something like that.
You should
for
come
sure.
down, man,
I
for
definitely
sure.
will. I love that.
Dude,
I love
it's
it.
fantastic.
I love it.
Steve's
I would
crippled,
love it.
and he's doing it.
I would definitely come.
So-
I'm in for sure. Let me
Whenever
know
you
when.
want, man. You can come down and train with me and Eric whenever you want. You know, and you have a mutual friend. You know, take advantage of that. You got Rob down at Long
Oh, I'm
Island
not
MMA.
worried about that. I'm friends with you guys. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that at all. Forget that. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely come down and
I
train. That'd
definitely
be
will.
awesome.
I definitely will. You know, it's funny. Like for me, it was baseball, it was basketball, it was the traditional sports growing up. Up until about my junior year of high school, I discovered how quick I was through my other sports. So I was like, I'm going to bring these talents to the track. And then, sure enough, I was getting college, you know, notifications and things like that. But going back to it, you know, fighting is something I definitely always wanted to get into. Boxing, like you say, MMA, and the way UFC is going. Not so much for the offensive side of it, but more of the defensive side of it. That's really what I'm in. You know, interested in just defending, not attacking, but learning how to defend is something I think. Again, it's just another mindset, though.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you're geared offensively and you're set, you're comfortable. But knowing how to take, you know, the fight of life on, same concept of fighting itself. So definitely, I will be taking you guys up on that.
Training was the single most important thing that I've done with my life. It's affected every aspect of my life positively.
Wow.
I'm a much better
That
person.
is something to say.
It's 100% the truth.
That is awesome.
Everything good that I have in my life has come out of it.
Wow.
From job opportunities, the people I've met. I wouldn't be doing this show.
Sure. I agree
so
with you.
everything has come out of that. It was the biggest positive choice I've made. It's taught me the most. I've learned the most. I've met the most people.
Sure.
And
It's all like-minded guys too. I mean, I can't imagine them being too different, and the mindsets are similar.
The mindset and the motivation are similar, but actually, I think that's one of the beautiful things about it is there's people from all walks of life that you become friends with, because it reduces everybody down to the greatest common denominator, which is the mats. And when you get out there and train, you're the same. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO or the fucking janitor. You get out there and try to kill each other. That respect is mutual. And the thing about it is, we're all guys here, so there's that macho shit. People size you up and. Say you're out with a bunch of people.
That's what I'm really interested in, because that's where I see the play kicking in.
Well, it's a beautiful thing because, right, so, everybody's had this scenario. You go out, you meet mutual friends. Maybe you have a bunch of girlfriends and they have their friends come. And they're a bunch of guys. You meet each other and it's, you're nice and cordial, but there's a little passive-aggressive nature. You're sizing each other up. And it takes a little while before that barrier comes down and you see the real person. With jiu-jitsu, somebody new comes in. You meet, hey, what's up, man? You want to roll? Yeah, you slap hands. You try to kill each other for 5 minutes. You establish that hierarchy. You find out what each person's made of. And at the end of that session, when you're sitting down, having your water and class is over, now you have real conversation because that bullshit veneer is removed. You already settled that. You got in each other's face right away. So you already know what I'm made of. I know what you're made of. We know where we stand. And now I'm like, hey, Rob, where you from, man? What do you do? And that's a real fucking conversation. The bullshit is removed. And that's why...
I couldn't agree with that more. I think that's so clear.
That's why it's the best thing. And you really become better friends with people through that. Yeah. Like, Eric and I are very drastically different. I think me and Eric are very different personalities. We have
Eric's different from everyone.
That's true. But Eric is one of my closest friends,
You talk about being genuine. That's a shoot straight shot. That is a straight shot to finding a real person. And seeing what they're all about. So
it makes you find out what you're made of too.
Very quickly.
You confront yourself very quickly too.
Yes,
because you find out real fast what you're made of as
absolutely.
Well. So
absolutely.
Like I said, I've become friends with people from all walks of life because of it, and I think that's a cool thing. Everybody's the same except for Steve.
Well, that's great. I mean, listen,
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Oh, you put that one on a tee there. You put that one on a tee. But no, I mean, training MMA-wise or boxing-wise, it's just going to help me in everything else. It's going to help running. Running's going to help that. And wrestling's going to help that. And, that's definitely something. And
it'll affect your focus.
I've done everything. Yeah. I've done everything from the physical, workout standpoint to really bulking up. I was 240 at one point. Right now I'm sitting at like 209. So I was huge. I mean, I could bench press 315 and run under a 5-minute mile. So that was pretty impressive. I was a big guy that ran pretty fast. So now I'm like 210. I'm not anywhere close to the shape that I was once in. But it's okay, this is definitely the next chapter. It's more of my professional life is taking over, and I would treat this MMA or boxing or as just the next way to kind of end my day.
Challenge yourself.
Yeah, no question, absolutely, for sure.
Listen, you're gonna have some hooligans that come in your place in Patchogue, especially if you're open late at night. You might want to learn how to choke a motherfucker or two. For sure.
That's when I have to decipher: am I Rob, just the regular guy, or am I Rob, the business owner? Because if I'm Rob, the business owner, now I have to be very PC.
Well, they might be trying to rob the business owner, so you might have to strangle a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
They could. That's very true. I mean, we're working to go against that direction in Patchogue. We're working. Unfortunately, we've had some trouble, but. The mayor has done a really great job of cleaning up this town, so I'd like to help, with that as well.
Well, if I'm in your store getting coffee and somebody gets loose,
I know who to call now.
I got no problem choking motherfuckers.
That's perfect. That's perfect. It's
I might
great
even
to know
just
I got
beat
guys
Steve
on my
up
side.
in the store for you.
Just great to know I got guys on my side for sure. For sure. Listen, when I was, I spent about 5 years in Ocean Beach. And I DJ'd for CJ's, I DJ'd for Flynn's in Ocean Bay Park. Pretty much all the spots on Fire Island I played at one time or another. I was a resident for CJ for about 5 years. And at night, just to kind of give you an idea of what money meant to me at 19 years old, I would DJ from 10 to 2. And then I would bounce from 2 to 4 and get on the 4:30 a.m. water taxi, come home, get in bed by like 5:15, and wake up and go to work at 8. So that's what I did for years, man.
Where'd you bounce?
I bounced at Mermaid. I bounced
okay.
in Ocean Beach. Mermaid, McGuire's was really my spot though. McGuire's late night for years, and the stories I have are unbelievable, and the Fire Island memories, and I talk about a friend. And
we got to get you on for Bouncer Chronicle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
that's.
do-
I mean, I
we've
still have my yellow
all
security
done- yeah.
shirts. I got my yellow security
So do
shirts.
we, a
So
lot.
it's fun. I wear them at the gym though, so everybody gets a kick out of them, and it's fun when I bring them around my friends. OBRA, Ocean Beach Restaurant Association, says on it.
We might have to get you on under a pseudonym for the Bouncer Chronicles.
There you go.
Yeah.
We have
It's
a
so
little,
funny though to think of me as a bouncer. I'm not a big guy. I used to be bigger. I
Right.
definitely used to be bigger, but from the standpoint of the guys taking care of me over there, it is such a brotherhood.
Oh, yeah, of
all
course.
the bouncers, everybody's got each other's back,
Yep.
and that's kind of really what I'm looking to do in Patchogue too with the business owners. Not from the bouncing standpoint, but from the standpoint of like, hey, I'm in
That
your shop.
brotherhood, yeah.
I got my eye on your place. I'm looking out for you, and I expect the same when I'm not there. So I think that's huge. That's great. That's great. Yeah, that'll be it, man. That'll be it.
I'll wear that.
Insecurity. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, that should be all over. I love that. Insecurity. It's great that when you see guys that were definitely never bouncers, and they're wearing like their friends like extra
Oh,
large
yeah,
shirt. It's like, what are you doing?
Stop.
Listen, I bounced for 5 years, and because it's mostly an extra large business.
It
I
is.
was
You're
wearing-
right, though.
I was wearing staff shirts.
Yeah. No,
It took me
but you're
5
the
years to get a
exception, though.
security
You're an exception
shirt.
because you have. Yeah, you are
This
definitely. An
definitely
exception.
sizes them. I had to
doubt.
go get my fucking shirts custom made because they would not get me fucking mediums, you fucking pricks.
Wow.
I literally went and got my own ones. Man,
That's a
'cause
bad man, though. Security guard. That's a medium. That's a bad man.
Yeah,
for
those
sure.
are usually the guys you got to look out for.
That's it. I mean, if you're security and you're in a medium, I definitely would keep my eye on you. So
Well, I had the reason why I had to go get my own shirts made up because we bounced at the casino, Davis Park. on Friday.
right.
And there was a rather large altercation that went down there one
Fun,
year, and
very
I was
fun.
wearing an orange staff shirt because again they didn't have security shirts in my size. So I was trying to diffuse the situation, and it escalated and it turned into a fight. And I'm like grabbing people, and I'm like trying to tell people to relax. And one guy's like, "Who the fuck are you?" and throws a fucking punch at me because he didn't know I was a bouncer. I was like, all right, this is ridiculous. I need to go get.
I need some
I need to
shirt.
be clearly marked because like maybe I won't get sucker punched, And then like I had one of our he'll go unnamed former bouncer who actually started the fucking problem, got confused and started grabbing me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Oh, he's retarded.
yeah, he's retarded. I'm like, I'm on your team, asshole.
That's not how this works, man. We fight the bad guys.
Yeah. So,
Don't fight
not each other.
me.
Yeah. So after that, I was like, fuck this.
Yeah. I mean, no, listen, I have stories for days. We can make a podcast on Ocean Beach late night stories. That's the next podcast.
Yeah.
Ocean Beach late night.
You're
And
on
just
the hook
talk
for that
about
now because you
That's
said it.
That's it. We're taking over Ocean Beach. There's a ton of great spots, and I'm really good friends with a lot of the owners in OB. So, who knows? Maybe we'll do a podcast out there.
That'd be fucking awesome.
That'd be sick.
Great.
Yeah,
bring
definitely.
sixth
Borough.
borough onto Fire Island. So
Yeah.
that'd be something else.
Absolutely.
You say when? We'll jump at that.
We'll
I
do
just
it.
can't wait for it to get warm. Once it gets warm, we're out of winter. Although it's April 18th, we are still in winter.
Yeah. That was our
Bouncer Chronicle.
There it
episode
is.
one of the episodes.
episode 53. If you're looking to hate us,
That is it.
That picture right there just sums it all up.
That's great, man. That looks like summertime. That's exactly what I want to be starting.
Yeah, can't wait.
Unreal. I really don't remember a time when. I mean, we can talk about the weather for sure, but the weather has been absolutely horrible. It is still gray. It is raining. We're talking about snow still. We're talking about flurries. It's almost Memorial Day. Yes,
Yeah.
and that is so true. Once we start getting some consistent nice weather, people have no idea what to do with themselves.
No,
it's gonna be ridiculous.
They have no idea. I just
It's
spent
like
this.
they've never had a nice day before in their life. They're like, I gotta do it.
We got to break out the tanks. We're going to break out the shorts, and then they're going to be freezing at night that night for sure. But there's no question that during the day, you're going to see all the bars are flooded, all the rooftops
yeah.
everywhere, and
a lot of people are getting pregnant.
Yes,
Oh,
A lot of people
a lot of
getting
babies being made that night for sure. But yeah,
A lot of
it's-
February babies coming from May.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I just spent this past weekend in Manhattan. I stayed. I had a little staycation, just kind of getting away for a while, which was awesome. And I don't really do that too often, but I do it about once a year. Get a place in the city, and just go out. And Saturday was gorgeous. It was
Yeah,
like
it was so nice.
lower 70s, and everybody was on the rooftops. It had just great energy in Manhattan. You know, you really felt like Manhattan was alive and back to the way it is in the summer. You know, in the meatpacking district in Chelsea, it was awesome. And then at night, it got 30 degrees.
Yeah,
That's how you get sick.
Super windy.
So it got freezing, and nobody knew what to do. All the girls were freezing.
Oh,
Nobody dressed right. It was windy. A storm was coming. And then you just got to chalk it up to living in this part of the area.
That's depression
you know?
right there.
Yeah.
You know, in the morning,
It
you have
is.
that like 5-6 hour window where it's beautiful, and then all of a sudden it's like the same day it's ice cold and you're freezing. It's like, life sucks.
That was like Friday.
Yeah,
Friday,
man,
I
it
come
really can
outside, And my car's covered in frost. So like I start my car, go back outside, throw a heavier jacket on, get outside, go through the day, and then like go out for lunch with my heavier jacket on, and it's like 65 degrees outside. I'm like, what the what is going on right now?
The only way I get through it is because I know it's only getting better.
Yeah.
It's not getting worse. It cannot get worse than this. It can't.
say that.
It can't. There's
All I
no
can
way.
picture is-
January was 3-4 months ago. So it's like, that's it now.
All I
You know
can
what mean?
picture is Bill Murray in fucking Groundhog's Day. It's like, it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be gray.
And I don't even
gonna last you the rest of
dislike
your
the
life.
cold. I don't dislike. I
just
like
tired
the
of
cold
it.
when it's supposed to be cold.
Right.
I like the
I
spring
don't.
when it's
Fuck
supposed to be
that.
spring. It's kind of tough to live like that in New York, though, because we know we're going to get this. We know we get this
Yeah. It's not
4,
a
5,
shock.
6 months, and then we get nice for 4, 5, 6 months. So
I'm still not happy about it.
no, but it's time for the boats to be in the water now and to kind of start dabbling with going out on the boat for a day, going fishing with the guys. So
Yeah.
I just feel like
we're
the
due.
seasons
We're
have
due.
switched. Like,
Yes.
it used to be winter was from like November, December till
I agree.
mid March, and then April starts spring. Now it's like no, spring. Spring is about 2 weeks in May,
2 weeks.
and then you have summer till fucking October, and then
And
you
then
have
a week
winter.
a week of
a
fall.
week of fall, then you
Yeah,
have winter
fall's
from
a
like
little longer than spring, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Fall's a little longer.
falls from like mid October to mid December, and then the last week of December, every now and then, depending on the year, it might start hitting winter, and then from January to
And then
fucking
it's Christmas.
April is winter. It's
Although the last few years, like Christmas has been like warm.
Yeah,
And-
t-shirt weather.
Yeah.
Every summer, for the past 4 or 5 summers, my younger brother and I, we run from Field 5 to the Lighthouse. We've run it in shorts in the past 5 years to give you an idea of how hot it's been on Christmas
Yeah.
Day. That's our Christmas Day tradition, and we run in shorts when typically we should be running, in pants in
Yeah,
the snow.
long johns and
And it's
pants
like
and-
60 degrees. It's all backwards, but
Eric and I went to the new inlet. Eric, in late October, and we were in shorts still.
October 18th, give or take. So
Yeah,
right around that.
and we were swimming.
Yeah, in the water.
It was ridiculous. I mean,
this was December?
No, it was October.
Oh, it was warm.
But we were still in the water. We were in the
Yeah.
water, fine.
Yeah, the oceans they stay warm. In the latter months. Right now is absolutely cold, but like
frigid.
believe it or not.
But even temperature-wise, outside of the water was beautiful.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Absolutely, it's crazy. But it's nice though because it's like crisp in the fall.
Yeah.
We love that. Like I personally love like Timberlands, jeans, flannel, hat, ready to go, and that's
Ready
like
to do
fall. That's perfect. So
Any type of weather that I could have like shorts on and like a hoodie.
perfect,
Like, perfect for me.
And
That's-
to me that's Fire
awesome.
Island.
Yeah.
That's Fire Island.
100%.
Just so relaxed, super chill, and just relaxing in that clothing.
Yep.
I'm on the fence with summer though, because summer also means really busy.
Yeah, summer's busy, man. There's no doubt. And again, the way I kind of get through that is I know there's an end to that.
Exactly.
The rate of the demand in the summer is not constant. We wish it were, but at the same time, I think we all wish that we know it's just a short period of time. And all of the good parts of our year happen in the summer.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the truth.
yeah.
We look best in the summer. We take the most pictures in the summer. We probably travel the most in the summer. We're definitely out. I mean, I know I go to more restaurants during the summer
Oh,
than
for
probably
sure,
3/4
yeah.
of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out almost every single night in the summer.
Yeah.
Maybe
In the winter
not
when it's
Sunday.
20 degrees outside, I'm like, nah, take out, call up.
That's
deliver
it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. I'm not going out.
anywhere.
Nobody wants
Yeah.
to go out. I'm gonna stay in my pajamas when it gets dark at 4:30, and that's it.
That's it.
We're not, we're not gonna be out till 9 at night, 10 at night, and that's just a regular summer night, for everyone.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, work night 9-10 o'clock. You're out
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you have to take advantage of
It's
it.
so nice.
There's no
You
question.
don't want to be inside.
You should be out, and if you're not out, you should be out at home. You
Oh,
should be
yeah.
sitting on your deck, enjoying a cigar,
Fire
enjoying a
pit,
conversation,
yeah.
a beer. Like chilling by the water. That is totally up my alley, and that I think is a great way to decompress. We were talking about before, but you should definitely be outside enjoying Long Island for everything that everything that it has for sure.
Yeah, taking advantage of that kind of stuff, especially, when you're paying the premium to live on Long Island as it is, you got to get out there. You got to get down by the water, take advantage of the ridiculous sunsets that we have.
And that's something that, just speaking about Patchogue, that we have so well. We have Off-Key Tiki, we have Dublin Deck, we have now having Alive on the River.
Yeah,
we're having
River's
Alive on the
coming up,
River,
yep.
which is going to be insane for everyone who's a boater. I'm definitely going to be down there. I'll definitely make my way down there. It's going to be a great place to be this summer. We have Blue Point Brewery coming.
Yep.
Blue Point Brewery is going to bring so much business to the village, and I think
It's gonna be crazy.
what Budweiser is doing with the locals here in Patchogue
Yeah.
and how they're keeping it kind of locally
they
owned
let
and
them do-
operated.
they
Yeah,
let
that's
them do
perfect.
they-
It's perfect,
they really
and it
just-
fits right in.
Yeah,
You know,
they
it
just
fits right
gave
in.
them the money for advertising and
Absolutely.
for kind of rebranding, but they let them do
As they
what
should.
yeah,
They've proven that they know how to get it to be a very succcircul company, and now
Yep.
it's nationwide, I believe. I believe Blue Point, you could
Yeah,
find
it's
it
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
So, I mean, definitely to think that, its birthplace is Patchogue, New York is definitely something we
Blows
should all
my
go
mind.
home and be super
Yeah.
proud about.
we actually know. The daughter of the owner and,
Sure.
and the brewmaster, they're brothers.
That's
their
cool.
daughter comes to Davis Park, so we know her very well. So
Yeah.
and super down to earth, like super sweet.
That's,
girl,
I think
like,
that
and
speaks to Patchogue.
Yeah.
That speaks to, like, kind of our blue-collar, hard-working town. It's
That's exactly what they
definitely not like anything else you'll find.
And people thought they were crazy. Like when they were started out, they're like, "You're doing what? You're opening a fucking brewery here? What are you out of your mind?"
10
Like,
years later, fast forward, and now every
Now
other
everyone's-
business is a brewery
Yeah.
in Patchogue.
Yep,
You know,
breweries. They're trying to
bars.
open a distillery. Like that's
Listen, man, you got to
They-
do
they
what
set the
works.
tone.
You
They
got to do
really
what
set the
works.
tone.
Obviously, they've found a groove in that industry, and they're totally capitalizing on it. And I am super pumped for that, because we could see that from the shop. We could see the Blue Point factory.
yeah. That's gonna be an amazing place.
It's now a destination, though.
Yeah.
When my buddies
100%.
come from Maine and come from, wherever they live in the country, and they come stay with me during the summer,
Gotta
we're
go
going
there.
to Blue
Yeah.
Point Brewery.
Yeah.
That's it.
Gotta- you have to.
That is now a staple.
Yeah.
And just like all the other great breweries we have in Patchogue, it's going to be the monster. So, again, something for all of us to look forward to.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. I mean, it's only going up.
That's right.
The area, the village of Patchogue is. I thought it was gonna plateau at some point, but it just doesn't seem to be stopping. Like,
Right
it's-
now, yeah, we're at that nice time of the year. I think when we know we're at the end of the race, we know we're on our last lap, and I think we're kind of seeing the light of what is the best part of the year to come.
Mm-hmm.
We're right there. We're waiting for the weather to break, and then everybody's going to go crazy.
Oh yeah.
There's no question about that. Everybody's going to go insane. Everyone's going to be out, like we said. And I think that's when the year begins. You
Right.
know what I mean? So
Right.
everyone's been, dormant. Everyone's been hunkering down over this really nasty, cold
so
winter.
much
Cold
snow,
winter.
God damn it.
Even for New York, it's cold.
Yeah, it's been really.
We're no strangers to bad weather, but this has been exceptionally bad. I remember we had a week of, I think it was in the teens, the
Like
low
every
teens, or
single
it was
day.
even in the single digits. I
Yeah.
think consistently,
Yep.
and had some pipes explode, that was fun.
That sucks.
So definitely fun time with that.
But it's coming off the kickoff. I mean, I know the kickoff to summer is really like Memorial Day, but it starts like Cinco de Mayo. Is
That's
really
right.
like when everyone starts to get that feel. They're like, oh shit, got to break out the Corona. Got to get out
Yeah,
that couple shots of tequila.
let's do the
this.
buckets. Let's get the
Yeah.
buckets going. Let's break the limes. Absolutely, and
That's
let's
it.
get the guys together, because it's been months, that we've all been together,
Been
but now it's like a
hibernating
real
for months.
reason.
Yeah.
And
get
I
out.
think you'll find that here, and you'll find that anywhere really on Long Island. It's just that island, and I think everyone from North Shore to South Shore, East End, Nassau County, we all feel that way.
Yeah,
So
it's a culture that is really embraced by everyone here. Like no matter what your financial standing is or your socioeconomical standing
Right.
is, everyone just kind of embraces that lifestyle and feel on Long Island. That's why.
what an energy too.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I
such
mean?
a-
You could feel it. You could feel that everyone's happier. You could feel that, where the flowers are blooming, the trees are blooming, everyone's happier, everyone's tan, everyone's just feeling good. And I think
Yeah.
we're waiting for that, because we're looking for something like that for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I think this, especially here in Patchogue, like just looking forward to things like Alive After 5 and stuff. I can't even imagine.
I already booked the
what
4
they're
days. I already
going
know.
to
I already know exactly the 4
do. Oh, yeah.
days.
Yep.
And what's something also too that everyone should really be excited about is the Penny Saver Amphitheater, Bald Hill. Mm-hmm. We're having 15 incredible shows, and we're actually going to have like a little satellite location.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for the we're gonna have like a little pop-up shop. So You'll see the Bean at all those events. The car shows on Mondays, and again, another great place to find great coffee, a great atmosphere, a great night with your girl or your guy, whoever it may be. But definitely a solid destination date night. In this summer.
Great. They have. I feel like a lot of people don't realize, like, some of the acts that they have there and some of the things that they have going on. It's Steve's got it up here right now, and I mean,
I also
some
feel like
bigger
it's
acts like Buck Cherry, Three Doors Down, Collective Soul. Like, there's a lot of things.
It's a hidden gem.
Yeah,
it's definitely a hidden gem. I mean, I grew up on the South Shore, Long Island. Not the biggest, attendee of Ball Hill, but from being out here, I see that it's where a lot of people, Mid Island, and South Shore, everyone's going to Ball Hill. So definitely a place you'll find us at the Bean, and I'll definitely be over there enjoying all the shows. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a great summer. I mean, everyone from me, where I'm from, Babylon, we all go to Jones Beach.
Right.
Jones Beach is the theater. That's the spot in the summer, but yeah, like I said, I'll definitely be over there for sure.
So where, since the warm weather's coming, this is perfect timing. Where drop where people can find you. Where they can follow you, social media, find the Bean, find you,
absolutely,
find your DJ company.
Yeah, that's great.
Plug all that stuff up.
Yeah, so you could follow me personally at Rob Cutrone on all social platforms. Rob Cutrone. You could find our event company, Press Play Events, on all social platforms. East End Coffee Roasters, again, on all social platforms. And the Bean of Patchogue, we're super excited about. Our social is growing, and we're really starting to, become really engaged with our followers, which are in turn our customers. And I'm super excited to get to know everybody, and like I said earlier, be kind of a staple and a cornerstone in this village. So something I'm really, really looking forward to. This is very special.
Well, get ready to start being sick of my fucking face.
Yeah, you're going to see our faces all along.
I welcome all your faces, all of your lovely faces. I welcome all
now
of them.
Now you're just lying to us.
So, all right, so the Bean's opening tentatively in a couple weeks?
That's right, yeah,
Patchogue?
about 3 weeks. I'm shooting for mid-May. If it's not mid-May, we're probably going to go to Memorial Day, and then we'll just have some crazy, crazy, crazy launch. Something I definitely want to leave all of our listeners to know is how we're taking care of our customers. I am personally going to be thanking every single veteran that walks in the store, currently served or not. Veterans are getting discounts. Our civil servants are getting discounts. Teachers, firemen, police officers, nurses. Everyone will be getting discounts. And, it's a place that I really want to...
No, cripples have to pay double, Steve.
You got no legs to stand on for a discount.
Sorry to derail you.
No, it's okay. It's all right. I like I said, I definitely want all our listeners. So again, guys, if guys or girls, anyone who's listening, if you are currently serving or formerly served, please make a point to tell our baristas. That's something I'm personally really, really big on, is taking care of our soldiers. I didn't have the opportunity to be in any academy or anything like that, but it's a way that I feel I can give back. So I definitely want everybody to understand that, for sure. Something I'm really big on.
That's awesome.
Great. A simple thank you like that goes a long way. And, unfortunately, way too many people have lost those, social etiquettes and just common courtesies. I mean,
don't even get me fucking
D-Rock
started.
and I have had this conversation.
Again, going back to doing the right thing, guys.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing. I mean, these guys have risked their lives for us. I think the least we can do is offer them a discount, because there's no equivalent of what they've done for us, honestly, other than, us being in their shoes, which we weren't, or at least I can say I haven't been. But just to speak to them, I mean, from someone that didn't have the privilege to serve for our military, and I'm super, super proud to be an American, that's something that, like I said, is a way to give back to them.
And unfortunately, way too many people look at it like, well, I don't believe in this. Well, you know what? It's your right to not believe in that.
That's
you want
fine.
to know why you have that right? Because of people like that.
That's exactly right. And if they kind of maybe, stepped back and kind of understood, why we're so privileged to feel that way, I think that, there'll be a little more clarity, and they'll be able to actually understand the magnitude of what these men and women have done, the sacrifice that they've done for their families and friends and their legacy to their name. I mean,
for strangers, that's what I don't think a lot of people really understand, is like, they're doing this not just for the people that they know. They're doing it for the for us, people that they've never met before, people they're never going to meet before, that so that we all and they all have the opportunities and privilege to live in this country and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
There's no
look at what we're doing right now. This is right up the alley of the freedom to speech.
Yeah.
We couldn't do this in other places of the world.
You don't see this shit in North Korea.
No, they don't even know what
Dude,
this
the
is.
shit we talk about.
They don't know what this is.
Yeah,
so I think we constantly need to tip our hats to our currently served and formerly served military. I see them out in the street. I always tell them, listen, when we're open, please feel free to come right on in, and you'll be taken very good care of. So
Something to add to that that's lesser than that, but like I'm gonna leave everybody with a thought on this, because we're talking about just doing the right thing, and what you said, Chris, just like simple day-to-day pleasantries. Like, hey man, when somebody holds a fucking door open for you,
don't even get me started with
say thank you.
Nah,
you
don't even get me started.
motherfucker.
We live in a world now where no one holds the door for anyone.
I hold the door open for everybody, and there's people that do not say thank you, and I lose my fucking mind.
When they don't say thank you, I say you're welcome.
I scream.
I say you're welcome.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, I'm sorry, thank you.
So
and
listen,
it's okay. You just got put back in your place.
if you're one of these motherfuckers that has a door held open for you and you don't say thank you, turn my fucking show off and don't go. I hate you.
That's it, kids.
So
Say thank you.
It's just
Thank you.
like,
It's a common
how
courtesy.
shitty is your day that you can't fucking say thank you? You got to go mad dog and everybody being a cunt to the world. You can't say thank you to somebody who held the door open for you. Come on, man.
Just common courtesy.
Common
People-
courtesy. You're just being nice. Hey, man, let me get the door. You can't say thank you.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's
cunt.
It doesn't take much.
So when you go into the Patchogue Bean, hold the door open and
Yes.
fucking say thank you.
That's
right.
right. That's right. guys.
Otherwise, Rob's gonna choke you to death.
That's right. And I'm going to learn how. I'm going to learn how, too, as well. I'm going to learn how. So stay tuned, guys, for sure.
Proper technique for choking people.
That's right. That's right.
Rob, thank you though for coming, man.
Absolutely.
I really
Thank you
appreciate
guys
it.
for having me on the show. Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. So follow the what'd you say, the Patchogue Bean?
The Bean to Patchogue.
The Bean of Patchogue
The
on
Bean to
Instagram.
Patchogue, yep.
Rob Cutrone on Instagram.
Press Play Events and East End Coffee Roasters.
Coffee roasters.
All
Absolutely.
right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man. I
Great
appreciate
time.
it.
Really appreciate it. Looking forward to the Bean opening up in Patchogue and you seeing our ugly mugs probably daily.
Every day, guys. You're more than welcome.